Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mind Garbage, a weekly talk show hosted by me, Eric Myers, that takes place every Monday and Friday for usually about 10 minutes, and I talk to you about whatever I want to talk about. Today, I want to talk to you about Uncharted 4. So, obviously, the game came out about almost 2 weeks ago, and I kind of wanted to do a review of, after I beat it, and then get into, the New Game Plus and kind of check out, New Game Plus, but the next game mode and everything, and then delve into the multiplayer before I felt comfortable with really, reviewing everything and giving my full opinion on it. Overall, my opinion on this game is that it's very good. It's really, really very good. Also, I'm going to be spoiling pretty much everything, so if you haven't beaten the game, you probably should watch this video. This game, honestly, is, you look at the jump between. I like all the can't talk. I like all the Uncharted's. Uncharted 1 is fun. It has a cool premise, a cool character, an idea, and everything. But it's very you run into this area, kill a bunch of guys, go to this area, story, sort of, and it just kind of doesn't really expand on anything crazy. It's fun though. 2 is where, you look at that jump between 1 and 2, I mean, it's monumental. And the fact that they were able to make 3 in a 2-year time span is amazing, because that game is, until this one, that was my favorite Uncharted. So for me, I feel like, the games get better as they go up. That's my personal opinion. This, to me, as monumental of a jump between 1 and 2 as it is to the 3 and 4, because 4 is, 4 to me is on a completely different level, and it might even be it's hard for me to say if I like it better than The Last of Us, only because The Last of Us is a different game. To me, it's like comparing a cheeseburger and a pizza. One is, they're both really good, but what they're trying to do is different things, even though they have the same elements like cheese and tomatoes and whatnot. I am way prouder of myself than that metaphor, or I am way prouder of myself with that metaphor than I ever thought I could have been, because that just really came out from nowhere. But this game is really special to me. The story, the way that it crafts everything and weaves, the characters, and even stuff like going back. I'm doing my crushing playthrough because I want to platinum this game, and going back and playing it and seeing knowing how things play out, and little things that I didn't catch before that pay off later in the story. It's an incredibly just well told story, which is not really something that you do see in video games. For the most part, they're fun, pulpy action adventures. Usually that's what the Uncharted games are, and that's not to say that this game isn't that. But kind of to quote Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, on their review of it, he said that this was like a grown-up Uncharted, and I agree with that completely. To me, everything that the game wants to do, well, it nails it and knocks it out of the park. Even the gameplay itself, I found it to be really excellent. Normally, gunplay in Uncharted games is sort of just guns, bam, 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 shoot, henchmen or whatever. This one, guns actually felt like they had kick to them, and I really enjoyed the way that traversal was in this game. That being said, there's this game to me is 10, but there are issues with it. One thing that I didn't particularly care for, but it's I understand, is because the game is just so immaculately gorgeous. It is so beautiful when you're walking around, and some of the vistas and things that you see, it's holy crap, how did they do this? They made a beautiful game. The problem that I have is that because it's so beautiful, there's definitely you can tell that there's stuff to where they don't have a loading screen, but you can tell that it's probably things that you're constantly lifting stuff up to get underneath, or trying to push stuff open or whatever, and you can tell that it's kind of they did that because they needed to maybe load in the next area or whatever, and that I don't have a problem with that. That's fine to me. It's an issue, but it's not something detracts or anything else. Like I said, gameplay wise, graphic wise, it's absolutely gorgeous, immaculate. And the story, I really, really enjoyed the story and the way that it was told. And by the title, A Thief's End, you would have thought maybe a character died. No one dies in this except the bad guy Rafe, who I really enjoyed. The thing that I liked about him so much was that he was, he wanted the glory of what Nate had done, and like I didn't really get the impression that maybe he was mentally unhinged or whatever, but I thought like I like the fact that he was obsessed with trying to find this treasure. Like he wanted to find this treasure before Nate because he wanted to leave like a better legacy. And you can tell that his character is obsessed with the idea. He knows everything to know about Nathan and stuff that he's done before, whether it's finding the lost city of El Dorado or Shambhala or Shangri-La, all this stuff. Like he's crazy. And the thing that I enjoy about his character is that his character is such a, like, in a way, kind of like a weenie, really. I mean, he, in the very beginning, he spinelessly just kills that guard, and they're kind of like, whoa, we don't kill people in cold blood, even though we kill literally hundreds of people in cold blood, which is hilarious. But his character, I thought, was really well done in the sense that this guy is like a spineless, like, little wiener, essentially. And I loved watching how it's like he hires Nadine's private military, which I liked Nadine's character. She is, for the most part, you don't really like, if she wasn't in the story and there was just a military that Rafe had, it would have overall the game would have been the same. But I enjoyed her character. I thought anytime, like, you saw like the initial scene that you have with her, I was really surprised that like she is just like she's a fighting character. Like she's really, like, she beats you down and really gives it to you essentially. And same with when you're with Sam and you're fighting with her, and she takes you down pretty easily almost. It takes a lot for you to, like, it doesn't happen until like the very, very end where something happens to where you get an advantage over her, and it's like one small thing, and that I really appreciated. I thought that was great. And it's like, technically I would want to do like even a longer video because there's so much in this game that is just really well done. And what's interesting to me is like I never got frustrated when I was playing this game, which can happen. I thought in Uncharted 2 there were certain things that happened that just generally frustrated me, like the Lazarevich boss battle. I thought was absolutely stupid. This one kind of had something like that, to where it was kind of like, oh, okay. Like, honestly, to me, it would have been a better game if maybe there was no boss battle and that it was just a cutscene. But overall, like, this is like such a special game to me because like I said, I've played all the Uncharteds. I enjoyed them, even on Golden Abyss. Uncharted 3 I really, really enjoyed because it was like telling like a story, and it still had like the gameplay from 2 that was really excellent, but it was telling a different kind of story, and I really enjoyed it, and I loved the set pieces and everything, like the whole cargo plane thing, all that was awesome. But that being said, this is just like, I mean, it blows it out of the water. Like, it's not even close to me. I mean, granted, that's my own personal opinion. I know other people probably, there are very valid complaints with it, with like pacing, and which I agree, some stuff gets a little long in the tooth, and nothing is perfect. But to me, this game is like, I don't know. I really genuinely, like, this is one of the best gaming experiences that I've had on my PS4. Probably the best that I can think of since having it, and probably one of the best video game experiences I've had in a long time. To me, I think about games where I really, really cared about the characters, all so much so, like Mass Effect is a series like Liara and Jacob. I'll be on joke. And why can't I think of her? Miranda, like, and Talia. Talia? Is that right? Talia? I feel like I'm thinking Talia, but Taliel or something. The Corian, whatever. Rex, all those characters, like, you care about those characters so much throughout those 3 games. The beauty of what Uncharted 4 does is that it has 3 games of these characters, and there's so many moments in this game where it's like, I feel like every character, you got a little bit of time with them to, like, talk to them, like especially like, you know, like Elena, like Nate and Elena's relationship, like at one point almost ends. And the thing that I loved about it was, you know, when they're together, you know, for the time where they're in the jungle on the island, and there's moments where like he's kind of like trying to talk to her in that kind of like awkward couple way, where after you get into a fight or an argument where it's like you're trying to smooth things over, and maybe the other partner's kind of like, no, I'm not really like into this. And like that, to me, like the thing of this is like the human relationships in this game feel so real. And amidst all this insanity and craziness that would never happen in a million years, there's these characters that feel so real, and a story that is grounded in reality and not crazy like weird zombie things like in the first one. And that's like, to me, that's what really blew me away about this game, is that for as ridiculous as the scenarios were, there was something so grounded and so human about it that I really, really, really enjoyed. So if I had to put a score on it, I would say Uncharted 4 is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. But, you know, granted, no game's perfect, but this game was as close to it as it could be, for me personally. You probably don't feel that same way, but if you do, let's agree on it and just enjoy it. If not, let's have a civil discussion. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel like you can like, subscribe, and share all this stuff with your friends and whatnot. You can follow me on Twitter at EricMyers93, link down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys this Monday. I'm going to be doing E3 coverage, sort of, kind of talking about, you know, all the conferences and whatnot, so we'll get into that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.